evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Christina Belknap, and I'm the Executive Director here at Lincoln Theater, and I'm so pleased that you can all be with us to welcome our very first guest in this season of Talking Food in Maine, Chef Lulu. And I also want to thank our season sponsors, without which we would not be able to make programs like this happen. Rising Tide Co-op, King Eider's Pub, and also our friends at Maine Concierge, your Maine Concierge. And a special thank you to the Newcastle Inn. Lulu came from a very long way, and they are very generously putting her and her family up for the night. So thank you to them for being part of this. And also, thank you to our very special host, Cherie Scott, who we certainly wouldn't be able to make this happen without. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage. Cherie.
Thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to cut these intros really short because we've got a great story to tell. But I do want to thank you all for being here on a Monday night. It's late, you've all worked, but this is going to be so fun. And let me tell you why. You have a Maine treasure walking out in a minute. I don't need to tell you anything about her. Her reputation precedes her. But you're going to walk home today with a friend. And her name is Marilou Ranta. And you will love her forever. You will take some very long rides to go see her after this. I'm just warning you. But I do want to mention something. You know, we focused this entire season, the fourth season, on hospitality. And even though we're talking about food, we want to talk about what an important place hospitality has in food and how we channel that food. And either the lack of hospitality or the excellence in hospitality can completely change the experience when you go out to eat or you welcome folks into your home. We all know that. So I found a really cool quote, and I thought I'm going to share it with you guys. So this is the last time I'm going to look at my phone. But here it is from one very sexy bald man named James Beard. Okay, he said, "Like the theater, offering food and hospitality to people is a matter of showmanship. And no matter how simple the performance, unless you do it well, with love and originality, you have a flop on your hands." Well, we all know somebody who has not just done it well, she has done it exceedingly well. So please join me in welcoming our Maine treasure, Marilou Ranta. Oh. All right, so where's that shiny medal that you brought with you? Because you've got to do the show and tell. You can't wait till the end.
I know. Isn't he handsome?
And it's heavy.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
I'll put it right there.
Okay. And we're going to make sure you can all touch it tonight. All just show and tell. You got to touch it. Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming all the way 4 hours with your lovely family.
Yes.
Let's toast to that, because without family, where are we?
Yes, thank you.
Nowhere. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, what does this mean?
Sisu, it's a Finnish word. I don't know if there's any Finn in the house. I know my husband is and my kids. Yes. It is, I know there's like a meaning put into one, becomes Sisu, like perseverance, determination, gut, moxie, like kind of rolled into one, like, can I say pikuna?
You said bikahuna.
Bikuna, yeah, my space. Yeah, rolled into one, so they call him Sisu. And my husband bought me this because he said I have more Sisu than anybody ever. And me, because I opened a restaurant in the boonies, but they found us, so I think that takes Sisu.
Yes, it does take
yeah,
Sisu.
that's my Sisu.
Well, we were going to have you wear it tonight, but we wanted to make sure everyone see your beautiful face. But that's a very important part of who you are, so I wanted to make sure you share that with us. Okay, so everybody wants to know, where were you born?
I was born in Philippines, in the barrio
Okay, what's a barrio?
Barrio is like a small little town like the Boonies.
Okay, but you were born on an island, so what's the name of that island?
Yeah, I was born in the southern part of the Philippines.
Is it
Mindanao.
Mindanao.
The poorest island in the Mindanao.
Yeah.
In the Philippines.
And how many of you in your family?
Well, there are 12 of us, and I'm the youngest.
Wait, 12?
And I got the guts to leave the barrio.
The littlest ones always do the wildest things. Okay, so you're not 12 in the family, you were 12 siblings.
12 siblings.
How many brothers, how many sisters?
12. I have, gosh, I think
it's 8.
I have
8 brothers.
I have, I think, 8 brothers, and I have like 4 girls or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. There's only 3 of us left.
Oh, no.
2 sisters and me.
Okay, well, that's a big blessed family.
Yes.
Yeah. So how in the world did your mom and dad feed 14 people every night?
I don't know. I'm one of the youngest one, so I can't remember.
I just think about the fact that you're living in a barrio. It's, I'm assuming you don't have some big fancy wolf stove. You're sitting in the village. You've got what? Rocks, wood.
My kitchen, I remember, is like 3 rocks, like a clay mat. A clay table. So we cook on those. We don't have no fancy stove. We don't have electricity. We have no running water.
Wow.
So that's what we cook on.
So I'm sure, being the littlest one, you can't just get away. You've got chores. So did they put you to work? Did
you
your
have
siblings?
To work. Yeah. Like you always get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You do the chores, feed the animals.
Yeah.
And if you go to school, then you eat breakfast and then go to school.
Did you go to school?
I went to school.
What did you think of school?
Well, to me, it's like kind of boring. They keep promoting me because I wouldn't stay quiet. What to say?
And that was the last of that because you haven't been quiet since.
Not exactly.
You've been shaking up the world.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your mom and dad. You said your mom and dad were pretty well off, right? For a while?
Buffore I was born, yeah. I think
and what happened?
They were one of the richest in my barrio.
Yeah.
But because my dad does buy and sell rice, and they're pretty, I guess, from what I heard, they were very well off.
Yeah.
But then, because of gambling, my dad lost everything. Then I was born. So I grew up poor.
Yeah.
And thank God I did, because I have to work for what I have.
Yeah. So tell me some of your favorite meals you ate when you were just cooking on, a simple little
Congee.
Congee.
I don't know if anybody know what congee is. Yes, it's just like, there you go. It's just porridge with lots of ginger and chicken broth, but it's warmth and like kind of feeds your soul. So I love that.
So it's made with rice, right?
Sticky rice.
Yeah, sticky rice.
Yeah.
My mom made that for me when I was little. When we were sick, we had congee. It was very bland and got you through.
It is. Yeah. It's good. It's just,
the best.
That's my comfort food.
So what's like one of your favorite foods when you were a little kid? I heard rumors about some kind of spaghetti that you ate.
Oh,
Tell me about that.
That's only for special occasion, like Christmas.
Okay, so what did your mom
They make
it
spaghetti, but we made it out of banana ketchup.
And not just bananas, but it was fermented.
Fermented banana ketchup, and then that's what we use for spaghetti sauce. And then instead of ground beef or stuff, we do hot dog, put hot dog in it.
Yeah. Do you still make that for the kids?
I don't think I've ever made it to my family.
All right, Bill, you're in for a treat tonight. She's going to make you some fermented banana ketchup.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever cooked that for them.
But that would be a cool thing. You should put it on your menu. It's a special.
Yes.
On Christmas Day, like Christmas Story with the duck.
Or with spaghetti with red. Yeah, we have red hot dog in Maine.
There you go.
Maybe it'll work.
Boom. There you go. Fine dining at its best.
Yes.
There you go.
And I can get banana ketchup in Portland.
There you go. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what happened at the age of 16? You had a shift in your life, right?
I graduated high school in 81. I didn't want to stay in the barrio. So I went and found a way to get out of the barrio. So I wanted to go to Manila and be a maid.
Because that was your way out.
Yes.
Yeah. You were still going to do chores, but at least you were on your own, right?
Yeah, so at least I could go and find, work.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in the barrio and I'll be like my sisters, have so many, kids.
Yeah.
To do what? You work and then just the same old thing over and over because it's the barrio. There's no job.
Yeah.
You don't own a land, so you're just working for someone else.
But that's pretty gutsy at 16 that you were like, okay, I'm out of here. Where did you go in the Philippines? Did you go to the big city?
I went to Manila. I met a guy that was going to Maritime Academy, and where the boarding house we was staying, they needed a maid. So he came home to the barrio and he took 2 girls and brought it there. And then so that's when I went to Manila.
So tell me about what life was like for you in Manila at 16 as a maid. What was a day in your life as a maid?
Oh, you get up at 4 o'clock, you cook breakfast, you feed your family that you're living with, and then you pack all their lunches, you send them to work, and then you start your chores, do laundry by hand. You clean the floor with, this coconut hasp that they cut in half, and then you use it and you go like that. That's how you and then you do the same thing every day over and over and over, and then they come home, and of course it's a predominantly Catholic, so every night at 6 o'clock we have to do the rosary, say the rosary. Yeah. So, and then the next day the same thing again.
But
over and over.
there was one day a week you got off.
Yes.
So tell us what you did on your day off. What day was that?
On our day, Sunday after church, we get together, all the maids, and we watch a show.
Yeah.
And we watch a lot of American show.
Yeah.
And we watch Knight Rider, my favorite.
Hey, Knight Rider was everybody's favorite.
Yes. Hey, you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so very good-looking man.
Yes.
But a much, much better looking car.
That's right.
And that car was Kit.
Kit, yes.
Remember Kit? So I used to watch Knight Rider and Baywatch.
It's so
because that's all we got
popular in Asia.
And unfortunately, David was the only guy in town, so he showed up on both the shows, and he looked good on both of them. Okay, so tell me what happened in that moment when you would, you'd said you'd go to the malls and you would just sit around on Sunday. And you'd people watch, right?
Yeah, I watch them, just like people are going shopping, going to McDonald's, I always just like, someday maybe I can go to McDonald's, get something to eat.
Yeah.
Or go to a mall and buy something.
Yeah.
But then I'll go home with my friend, we watch Knight Rider, and I always say, I'm gonna have a car like that someday. And they always said, sure, how are you gonna get that? Like, you don't even know where America is. I said, well, I don't know how I'm going to get it, but someday I will have one.
So they're watching this right now, right?
Probably, hopefully.
Know exactly where America is, and here you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever buy that car?
When I came to America, I'll never forget that I'm going to get me a Knight Rider. So when I can afford to buy it, because I work at a sewing factory. Mind you, it's $3.75 for a minimum wage when I came to America.
So when did you come to America? How old were you?
1987.
So you were like 21?
21.
Okay, so you you leave Manila, you fly 8,200 some miles to Chicago. I think that's right.
Yes, that's Chicago is my
your port of entry.
Port of entry.
Stamp that passport.
Yep,
Okay.
and I went back 2023 to get my award. Hello.
Full circle. Full circle. You're like, here's your passport. You're like, here's my medal.
I know, it's just that's weird.
That's amazing. What a full circle moment. Okay, so you come to Chicago, and then they fly you out to Fayetteville, North Carolina,
we went
right?
to Detroit, and then I don't know why, and then they fly me to Fayetteville, Raleigh, and then Fayetteville.
But how did you make it? You met a man, and you were engaged.
Yeah,
right?
I met a man in Angeles City. I didn't know I didn't even know there was American GIs that lives there.
Yeah.
And also I met this guy, so he brought me to the United States got me a fiancé visa.
Nice, awesome.
And I landed in North Carolina.
So what was your first impression of the United States? I mean, what were you thinking?
I think everybody that first come to the United States just like have the culture shock.
Yeah.
It is. It's just like, it's scary. And at the same time, it's like, okay, now what? And like, okay, I'm going to make the best of it because I'm here now. I have the dream. Remember, I wanted the car. Now I'm in America, like, okay, I got to figure out how to get the car.
So what I found interesting about the story is that you landed here, but you didn't speak the language. You didn't speak fluent English,
No, I understand it, but I can hardly form a sentence because I never pay attention in school.
You were quiet and good, but you never paid attention.
What am I going to use, that language? I'm going to be stuck in the Philippines.
Yeah. But destiny had another choice for you, right? So here you are, you don't speak the language, but there's something you did have, which was a really good skill, and you were a great sewer, right?
Yes.
So how much did you make an hour sewing?
I work, when I landed in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I had to go to work because I wanted the car. I wanted the car still, it's always in my, so I went to work at a sewing factory. Best part about sewing factories, you can make your own money because it's a production. It's like, so I was getting $3.75 an hour, because that's the minimum wage.
Right.
But if I sew and sew and sew, and then next thing you know, I was making $17 an hour.
Wow.
And that was in 1987.
Wow.
Yes.
So you got to get that car.
So I got to get that car. So I always work overtime, and that's how I got the car.
So tell me about what was your family situation at that point? You had just had your first son?
Yes, I had
Tommy.
A Tommy. Yes.
Yeah. And he's 35 now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He lives in North Carolina still.
Yeah. Awesome. So what did you end up doing with the car? Do you still have it?
I gave it to Tommy because when I bought it, I said, this car will be yours when you're ready to drive.
That's nice.
So when he came on that one Christmas, we told him, come to Maine and then ride the bus. I'm like, wow, I don't like riding the buses. You have to ride the bus to come. And then that Christmas, I gave him that car and drove it back to North Carolina.
Wow. Next generation.
Yes.
Passing on the dreams. Awesome. So, unfortunately, we don't have a photo of the car today, but it exists.
It exists. It's not black, but it's red, but I didn't, I had them.
You got the car.
I bought
So, your marriage didn't end up working out,
No.
right? But you decided, okay, I'm still going to go out. I'm young, I'm attractive, I work hard, I'm going to go out and have a good time. And you walked into a bar one night, and there was not David Hasselhoff, but
Well, Bill Ranta.
And
I think I was there, and then he walked in, and then he just looked, and then I think what he told his friend, like, I'm gonna get her. And then his friends are like, yeah, here we go again.
okay, so you met Bill and you asked him where he was from, and what did Bill say?
I know, it's so funny because I asked him where you're from, and he said, Maine. And he's got the accent. He said,
He's got the accent.
Yeah, I mean, like Maine. He said, where is Maine? Nobody knows where Maine is, and especially me.
Right.
And then he goes, I said, in Canada? And he goes, close enough.
So that's awesome. So there's your young man. This is the young Ranta couple.
Yes. Oh my God. That's when we first brought me Christmas.
Yes.
The first time he brought me.
So tell us about that. So the first time you ever came to Maine, when he brought you over to meet his family, right?
Yes.
It was a
Christmas,
beautiful Christmas.
Beautiful. Time. I think that's why I fell in love with Maine. It was like, I always call them Norman Rockwell postcard. And I only see that on like postcard back home. And I used to wonder, like, does people really live like that?
Yeah.
But they do.
They
You guys
do.
did, and he did.
Yeah. So Bill's whole family's Finnish,
Finnish and
Swede, and they came over years ago
for
the quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His great-grandfather worked at the quarry,
That's awesome.
and his grandfather, I think, worked at the quarry too, and that's why we name our restaurant the Quarry.
The quarry.
Yes.
That's awesome. Another full circle. That's
Yes.
great. That's awesome. So the snow obviously didn't scare you off because
No,
you're coming
I
from the
loved
tropics in Manila and you're in Monson. So you came back that summer
Yes.
and you just
And
fell
the
in love.
lake was open. And
Yeah. It's this
he
beautiful,
brought, yes, it was-
gorgeous.
Yes. Oh, there's the quarry.
Yeah.
Yes, and like, I told him, like, you really do live in paradise because it's gorgeous. Look at that. I mean,
Yeah.
So I guess he wasn't scared to ask me to marry him because I guess he knows I like Monson.
Yeah.
Not hard. He just brought me here, like, you know.
Yeah. Little did he think that one day they'd be throwing you a parade, right?
I know, that's crazy.
Okay, so you fall in love with Monson, you fall in love with Bill, and you move to Monson, and what happens with your life? You're almost 30, and you've got two sweet little kids. There's Isa and Kunar, who are now 22 and 20.
Yes.
And what do you decide to do as a mom? You want to raise them, but you had some dreams.
I've always want to have something to do with food. Even when I was raising them, I always used to entertain, at home. But my dream was to own a food truck, so I can at least, I want to share what I know about food. So I've never stopped dreaming and stuff, and but Billy was a National Guard, so they had to got activated, so has to go to
On a tour.
on a tour.
Yeah.
But when he came back, I kind of decided to okay, I think I need to do something with me for myself because I still wanted to cook. I still really wanted. I don't know why I always maybe I need to go to school.
So before you did that, though, you were doing a takeout.
I did a Pan Asian
Asian.
takeout at the old Monson General store.
Right. And I'm assuming it's sold out.
Every day.
So
my
what were you
food sold
making?
out.
Were you making lumpia?
I was
and-
making lumpia, I was making pancit, and I was making Filipino fried rice.
Yum.
And honey, spicy chicken wings, and every time it sold out. So I always said no, maybe I need to buy a food truck.
Do we think she needs a food truck?
I guess, thank goodness I didn't have to, I guess, because I just the dream just kind of
Found you.
found me.
Yeah. So this is interesting because not many people think about community college as a gateway to a
Yeah.
career, right? But I went to community college.
Yes.
And my community college was so well funded that we were Harvard on the Hill there in New Jersey. It was great. And I got the best education, and then I went to my 4-year and finished up. But tell me about why you chose to drive an hour and a half each way to Eastern Maine Community College.
I think when I look at their enrollment, it's so small that I thought if I go to this thing, to this community college, I can have one-on-one with my professors.
Yeah.
But if you go to CIA or the big, of course I can't afford it and it's so far away, and I don't think you have a one-on-one like that if you go to a big school. But community college for me is the best because your professor is right there. And plus, I'm kind of the same age as my professor. And some of them, my professor is just like my son's age. And
So how old were you when you enrolled?
I was 47, 48.
47. And you
Yeah.
graduated
At 50.
at 50.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was not too long ago.
No.
We're talking 20...
2016.
16? Yeah, when you graduated.
2016.
That's just a few years
know,
ago. And you're sitting here with a James Beard Award medal. I mean, it's
that's
like,
why sometimes I feel like
random.
someone pinched me because this is going too fast. It's just too fast.
Amazing. You're like the American dream. Okay,
Yes.
so what do they actually teach you in community college? Like, do they teach you all the sauces, knife skills, sanitation, like the whole,
Yeah, your first
everything
year
you
is
need?
all your basics.
Yeah,
But their basics, I already use that as being a maid. You know, that's what my training, you know.
yeah. But how did you develop your sort of your signature style? Because obviously they're teaching you all the French sauces and things like that, but
Yes.
you've got all these lovely
I
exotic
paid
flavors.
attention to not the combination of their sauces or anything, but I pay attention with the technique. Then I use that and incorporate our ingredients back home, see if it works. Some it worked, some it didn't. So I have to figure out. But mostly I went to college because I wanted the business aspect of it, how I
Right.
can,
Food
you know,
costs,
yeah,
building all of that. Yeah.
yes.
That's
And
really
also-
smart. Yeah.
Yes, and also the certificate, because sometimes they don't take you seriously
Yeah.
if you don't have the paper. That's
Yeah.
how I found out myself.
Yeah. The statistic is, I think I've read this somewhere, I was talking to Melissa Kelly when she had mentioned that only 5% of restaurants survive after the third year. And it's really because of food costs. Like, it's
Yes.
difficult to manage all that. So getting that business training was very elemental and
Yeah.
important. So when you graduated, you were 50, you have 2 kids in high school at this point.
Yes.
And Bill is back.
Yes.
So how did Monson Arts come about in your life? How did the Libra Foundation find you?
I think when I graduated, I think I was still in Greenville working at the other restaurant. And then I see in my town, everything is like they're working and what is, going on. It's
Like a
you know,
redevelopment sort
yeah,
of
the
thing.
new
Okay.
development. So
Yeah.
I checked around, and they said that they're bringing artists or this organization, the biggest organization I think in Maine, the Libra Foundation. I'm pretty sure everybody heard about Libra Foundation, and I'm so grateful that I got to know them. That kind of like I don't know. It's just kind of like, to me, I can't even like believe it that like right now I'm sitting here, but because of Libra Foundation that really gave me my dreams to get out there. I mean, they gave me the job.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So the Libra Foundation is one of the largest, as we know, charitable organizations in the
Yes.
state of Maine. They're behind Pineland Farms
Yeah.
and quite a few other things. But Monson Arts, the whole arts residency program kind of came from that. And they needed somebody very talented to be able to feed these really talented artists 3 times a day.
Yes.
And they're coming from all over the world.
Yes.
To Monson,
Excuse me.
and they're creating these beautiful bodies of work and portfolios, and in the meanwhile, they need to eat.
Yes.
And so, Stuart, Maine Poet Laureate, was one of
Yeah.
your friends.
I
Simone?
went and asked them. I was like, are they building a restaurant? I said, I'm a cook. I can run the restaurant. And they said no, but we're looking for a chef. I said, for what? I said, for our artists that we're gonna be bringing here.
Right.
So I applied for the job.
Yeah.
And Stu Kestenbaum used to run Haystack, and he's the advisor. Yes, he's the advisor for Monson Art. So he asked me to send my resume and a sample menu.
But you know what I love about you is your hustle.
Yes.
It wasn't that, hey, it was that you were curious about what's going on in town, and you were determined to find a way to cook. That was just always front and center,
Yes.
and you found yourself that job.
I asked them,
Yeah.
I presented myself.
Yeah, but you know what I really, really loved about that was that you said, can I also cook for everyone else?
Yes.
And that question really changed the trajectory of your career.
Yes.
So sometimes you got to be gutsy. It's not just all about the glory, but it's about the guts and the glory. And here you are today.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I did. I mean, I have nothing to lose if we, you know, if they say no, okay, I'll feed the artist. I mean, you know, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no.
Yeah. So tell us about these artists. So they come, they stay for a month at a time. And you obviously feed them 3 times a day. So I'm
These
sure.
artists, they took out my breakfast because it's too much for me to do, they said. So I feed them twice a day. They get their breakfast at Monson General, which is owned by Pineland Farms.
Yeah, Pineland Farms. That's great.
Oh my
so
goodness.
lucky artists that they have been enjoying your food for all these years. That's awesome. And now we can too. Now what I love about this photo, this is from Maine Magazine. Nicole Wolf took this beautiful photo, and it shows the workers, the quarry workers.
The quarry workers, yes.
I loved how you've put sort of pull the art into your aesthetic at the restaurant.
Yes.
It's a really nice touch there. So tell us what's going on over here.
Oh, that is like, it's just a porch. But it's nice in the summer and in the fall, but you know, the weather in Maine, towards the fall, at the daytime, like at 4 o'clock, it's so nice outside, but of course our fine dining takes 2.5 hours. So by the time they're on like soup, they're cold because they're like, you know, it's getting darker, especially from our friend from the south. They're not used to our weather, so I said like, let's just close it in.
Okay.
So
and here we go.
Yes.
So I've seen photos of this porch where it's open and it's facing Lake Hebron.
Yes.
Okay, so this is now enclosed. So if we were to go up, this is what we're going to see.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
Just
nice
take
and
notes.
cozy.
And very cozy. Wonderful.
Yes.
So
that was the porch.
that was the porch.
Yes.
Right. Which is beautiful too, but
It
I
is,
can imagine it getting chilly at night.
It is get chilly in the fall,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so what I love about your style is that you choose deliberately to only have how many guests a night?
At the most is 45 in the summer, 45 people.
And only one seating.
We have, yes, because I don't flip tables, so we get 6 or 6:30, but that's it.
And then they have the table to
They have the
themselves.
table to themselves.
Wow. So it's a destination. You're coming up and you don't get rushed. Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice. So you really dedicate the time.
It is.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this beautiful plate because it's sort of your signature style here. What is your fascination with molecular gastronomy?
I think they're so cool because you could change anything into a different texture or flavor, or it's just the feel, you know, the mouth feel, or like that one is my strawberry diamonds. I always call them the diamonds.
I see them there. They're twinkling.
And
So who taught you that? Who taught you molecular? Did you experiment on your own?
I love Billy's gonna kill me, but I used to use his money. I buy all these little products and everything. He didn't know it, but I do it at home.
You were using Bill's money for molecular gastronomy.
When I was going to school, I would go buy like mold or like siphon, and it's just like, cause I needed it because I was experimenting it at home and trying to see, but it works.
So you like the transformation,
Yes,
the moment,
yes.
and then you get to play with your colors.
Yes.
Yeah. So in that case, so that's like a strawberry.
A strawberry diamond.
Diamond.
Yes.
Okay.
And I use a natural, you know, because it's agar-agar. I don't use gelatin. So agar-agar comes from seaweed, so it's natural.
So where do you source all your beautiful products from? All your produce, how do you design your menu? Like, what do you have in mind when you design?
I design my menu seasonal, not farm to table.
What does that mean? What's the difference? Tell us.
You really want to know what?
Sure.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Not with us, you're not. Maybe
No,
Bill.
because
I don't know.
What I grew up is farm to table, real farm to table.
Right, because you were having your chickens and then they were in your pot, right?
But I can do it farm to table, especially in Maine, because I don't have a fish pond. I serve fish in my restaurant. In the Philippines, farm to table, you want to eat fish, you go get some fish from your fish pond. You want chicken, you go in your backyard and kill the chicken.
Right.
So
you do it seasonally.
Seasonal.
Yeah.
My friend grow my vegetable for me in the summer.
So you have a farmer there who does it.
He brings it, and I pretty much kind of sources all my stuff locally.
Yeah. And then do you ever change your menu, or like do you set a menu for the year? It's your 6-course.
No, I change my menu every 2 weeks in whatever my purveyors can get for me, like especially tropical fruits in the summer. And then that's where I go go by to design my menu.
So I see a lot of fruit show up in your menus.
Yes.
A lot. Yeah. So a lot of fresh flavors.
I use a lot of fresh mango, fresh pineapple, fresh jackfruit.
That's the island girl in you, right?
All the island.
What is that? What are we looking at?
That one is a Filipino fried rice, and that's how our fried rice back home, like with vegetables and stuff, with a little char siu.
Yummy. Yeah.
That's for I do brunch.
And we're gonna look at the photos there, okay? So what are your photos
that's
there?
the sea grapes.
It looks like a starfish to me a little bit.
No, that's actually
grapes?
is really, really good. It's like a caviar. It's salty and it pops in your mouth, and it's natural because it's seaweed.
Oh, it's seaweed.
It is seaweed, and it looks like grapes, so they would call them sea grapes. And then with I think that's balsamic pearls that I make also.
Molecular.
On a tuna tartare.
Oh, tuna tartare.
Yes.
Delicious. Oh, that's so
the
fresh.
saltiness of the sea grapes and the tuna, it really tastes
Now,
good.
how do you come up with something like that? What do you like in the middle of your sleep? You wake up and you're like, I see tuna and I see balsamic diamonds and like what? How do you come up with that?
No,
you're like an artist yourself, really.
We actually eat those back home. That's how we make it.
What did you eat back home? The seaweed?
Like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The seaweed and the tuna, for only special occasion. So just like, and I thought that's like poor people's food, because that's what we eat, like the seaweed and stuff we go.
Yeah.
But now I can
Same
make
goes
it,
for lobster, right? It was poor people's food.
But now
so
I can serve it here.
I love that. That is a salad too, right? Is that your? Do you remember what that? It looks like?
That's a beef salad. Yes.
Is it like
a grilled tenderloin with lime sauce, lime dressing, with some. It's more. I think we call it a sisig. If that would have been with a sizzling plate, that would have been a Filipino sisig. But that one is like a Thai beef salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a Filipino came to eat in your restaurant, what would they think about your food?
They would say like, this is like in the barrio.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing how much of that is still in you from the barrio. It's shaped a lot.
Yes. I like our flavors that we put in there because it's very fresh.
Yeah.
You know, even all the sauces that I make and stuff, it goes well with what you're familiar eating, like the protein, like lamb, duck, or a beef. Yeah,
that is one of your famous
dishes.
dishes.
My baked crab rangoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had me at crab, but then rangoon and all that. Okay, so tell us about that.
That one instead, if you go to a typical like Chinese restaurant, you get them rangoon, but fried. But I did it like kind of with a twist. Instead of fried, I'll just bake it with a puff pastry. So you get a lot of filling instead of just the wrapper.
And how do you treat the crab? What do you do to it?
I put a fresh scallions and cream cheese, and you're gonna get the white meat crab.
So where do you get your crab from?
I get it, everything seafood, Maine Shellfish deliver what I want.
Yeah, they give you everything.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so I laughed out loud when I read about this, but tell me about that dish. This is the signature Quarry dish.
Yes.
And that's because everyone likes their meat.
Yes, I serve nice filet, and I don't slice it because I found that Maine, especially right where I live, they love their beef and potato.
But they want a hunk of meat.
A hunk of meat, yeah.
They don't want you to cut it.
No, I'm not slicing your beef when you come to my restaurant.
You can slice your own beef.
No,
yeah.
I mean, people like to come, there's like a nice, if you're gonna order beef fillet, you better have like a beef fillet, not 2 slices of beef fillet. That's not fillet.
Yeah.
So and potato and carrots.
Yeah, that's a very simple and elegant plate.
It's simple, but yeah.
Very clean flavors. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you bumped up the potatoes a little bit. You gave them a little mousseline thing going on there,
with
which is nice.
like burnt butter. It gives that nutty flavor. And the potato, you don't need it, but tastes good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to have some butter in there.
You're going to have potatoes anyway. Might as well put the burnt butter too.
So, 3 years ago, I had a podcast that I ran for just 1 year, and it was for the bicentennial for Maine's birthday.
Yes.
And one of my favorite people in the world, her name is Susan Axelrod, who actually did a beautiful story on you, was one of my first guests. And I had tasked Susan with one thing. I said, I want you to come to my studio, and I want you to bring 10 of the most memorable stories you've ever covered for Maine Magazine. And guess who was on the top of that list?
Oh. Moi? Is Susan here?
And when she told me your story, I said, I cannot wait to get my hands on her and bring her to Boothbay or Damascotta. So talk about manifesting. I didn't ask for a night rider, but I did ask for Marilou.
Oh.
And I got Marilou today for all of us to enjoy.
Oh.
And that story is really a story that put you on the map.
Yes.
Yeah. Susan has a way of doing that.
Job.
She's also been a guest here, so.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, she just, it's funny because this was 2019 when we recorded the episodes. This is way before you got nominated or anything. Your restaurant had only been functioning for a year at that point. And she came to me and she just told me how you made her feel. And like she was the only person in that restaurant, which she probably was when she shot for the magazine, but it was just the champagne and your personality and it was really, and the food was amazing, but it was you. And when she told me that night rider story, I said, we have to tell the world that story. Because that is the American dream, right? It's like the essence of what drove you, pun intended.
Yes.
For everything you did. So here you are. So we have a lot to be thankful for Susan Axelrod's great work. But that's a beautiful shot of you. And I guess you're putting your lovely sauce on the big hunk of meat.
That was Nicole's.
Nicole Wolf.
Yes.
So dessert. Tell us about the Quarry. Like, I have to tell you guys, I did a little bit of research. And I wanted to go way back to before you got nominated for this wonderful award, just to see what people were saying about you. Because I thought, you can't put on a show to win an award. It just really has to be authentic. And I just got some of the most amazing reviews that I was reading from 2019 about you.
Oh.
And one person actually said that your restaurant was completely shut down and you opened it up just for her birthday, because she said, I'm come all the way and I want to have my birthday there. And not only did you open up the restaurant for this woman and her husband, but some lone guy who was hiking the Appalachian Trail showed up, and the three of them had this amazing dinner, and you made them this gorgeous chocolate torte or cake or something. I mean,
I'm always like,
You know, that you can't make that stuff up.
no, I'm there every day. And always when people would stop by, like, we want to go eat there, but we're closed. If I'm there and I have food, I just always say, well, come on and sit down. I'll cook you something.
Well, we're all going to be showing
Yes,
up.
please do come.
Just get ready. So,
Yeah.
so that delicious dessert, I wish we had a picture of your beautiful chocolate cake, but I love that. You know, this is the thing. I feel like you are the culinary artist at Monson Arts. I know you nurture these artists, but I
Yes.
think in many ways they've also influenced your work. It's just
I
beautiful.
tried to use different, things. Yeah, that's a sugar glass on a creme brulee. I tried to experiment thing, but I don't use a lot of just that. I just need it for maybe garnish and to give it a little, surprise on my plate. But I don't go overboard on molecular gastronomy.
No, I think that's very elegant, beautiful. But here's a cool cocktail. So I guess you guys drink well in Monson too.
We do.
Tell us about that. You love your meat, you love your
Yes.
drinks.
Well, you gotta have a good
Your
drink. There's
arts.
I think that's a smoked gin and tonic.
Yum.
Yes.
Now who's making those fancy schmancy drinks in the back there? Who's doing all
I think that was me actually.
That was
doing
you too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love making cocktails too, but
You need to get out
sometimes
more.
I
You
can't
need to-
be, I know.
You
I
need to
can't be
come
on the
out and
bar
party
too,
with all of us.
Come
and
and,
just show and tell.
well, come at my restaurant. We'll just party. Yes.
But that's really beautiful. So I mean, even the cocktails are crafted. With
Yes,
so much
I
thought.
love to make new
beautiful.
things.
And I love your hands in the shot. That's beautiful. So there's your white tablecloth, fine
Yes.
dining, but it's no stiffiness. It's just
No.
very casual. How do you strike that balance night after night?
I think you gotta be true to yourself, true to what you trying to put out there. You can't fake it. I gotta be, what I'm telling people, like what you see in me is what you get. That's just the way I am. I want people feels like they're coming to my home, not a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Does your home have white tablecloths?
Sometimes. If Billy's cooking breakfast, I guess.
Well, your home is the Quarry. You don't ever
Yeah.
leave. You're always there.
No, I think it's nice even. See, it's not a fancy tablecloth. It's just
beautiful.
like plain white tablecloth.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's not a fine dining, it's a fun dining.
Fun dining.
But it's nice to have a tablecloth, I think when you go to your grandma's home, they always have a tablecloth.
Yeah.
And it makes it so special.
Yeah.
I think that's how I do my
Yeah.
restaurant,
So I heard that in the back, you actually have a team. Some of them have never stepped into a kitchen.
True.
So you're taking in, raw talent, and you're teaching them the ropes while they actually have to perform at this level. And I'm not just talking back of the house, front of the house too.
Yes.
So how do you get the team to that level in such a short time, mind you, that since you've been open, and through a pandemic nonetheless?
I know.
How have you done it?
It was kind of hard in the beginning, but I think some like to learn, and I guess there were, when I opened it, it's all my kids' classmates in high school. I just put them out there. I just told them, this is how you do it. Don't have to worry about it. Some of them spilling drink on the lady's lap. They were just like, I'm quitting. I can't do this. And I will always say, no, you just say you're sorry. You didn't mean it. It's your first job as a server. My son did serve and Isa worked there too. But I think it's new to them. It's something different in Monson. They take it like it's fancy. Mm-hmm. So they actually worked there for a while. And it's easier for me to train the kids that have never worked in a business. or especially in the restaurant business.
I mean, it takes a ton of investment to do that because, as we all know, kids come and go. They're going to college, so you have to keep retraining, and the trainers are training the next batch. So it's a lot of work. So I'm just curious how you maintain this level of excellence night after night, and at the same time, you're making yourself accessible to all the guests who are coming there, because we all know, as much as you make a very mean smoky gin cocktail, they're there for you. They're coming to see you. Because every one of those reviews was about you and Bill coming out.
Oh, I get a lot of help from them, my family.
Yeah.
They were there. I mean, they don't go home until I'm done working. We all go home together.
Yeah.
But I think one more thing that I really wanted to hire the kids are like, they never had experience. They're not gonna, no one give you a job if you don't have experience.
Right.
So I took advantage of that one, that like, okay, no one's taking you. I'll hire you. You don't have experience, then I can train you the way I want it to work in the kitchen, the restaurant.
Right.
So it was kind of like win-win for us.
That's awesome. So they're learning, and you get to invest in the next generation at the same time. So I'm assuming now that you've got a long wait for internships, because the word is out.
Yes.
So do you have a formal internship program with Eastern Maine Community College?
I do. I actually have one right now. He's done externship last summer, but he's still working for me.
That's awesome.
Or with me in the kitchen.
Yeah. And these kids are going to go and do great things all over the country.
Yes. Hopefully they'll take away, what I taught them, but it's up to them to use them. If they can't, how they carry that into their next chapter of their career.
What does hospitality mean to you?
To me, hospitality is just like, it's not just the food, it's the way you bring them to your home, the way you make them feel. It's not about, okay, you're selling food, okay, you're making money. No, it's about the friendship, how they remember you, how I'm gonna remember my guest that just left.
Yeah.
So
it's more than transactional for you. It's always a moment of a connection that you're making with every.
It's the connection I'm making with all the guests.
Yeah.
Because they always remember me, and I know I don't think I ever read reviews, but sometimes Billy or Issa and them, they tell me, and then this couple, I said, oh, I remember them. They were on vacation in southern part of Maine, and they wanted to come. So I remember that connection because of how we got along when they, they came to the restaurant without me being open, and I offered them the restaurant.
Oh, you remember that review that I was talking about?
Because of the connection. Then I said, oh, I remember this couple. They're the one from Virginia. So, the connection. Yeah. I think that's
it's beyond the plate for you.
Yes.
Yeah, beyond the plate. I love that. I love that moment that Nicole captured, because it was so great that you came out with a bottle of wine, and I'm thinking, I can't imagine what's happening in the back of the kitchen at that moment. How many fires are taking place all over the place, pans are flying, and there comes Marilou just chilling out with a bottle of wine. I mean, that is amazing to me, that you can manage that with the team that you have, that you're training.
There's not many people working in the kitchen, really. I know there's like, okay, my husband, sometimes Issa, and a sous chef, and a dishwasher, and sometimes we have like 45. I think because the way I design my menu, I design it to work for me. We don't work for our menu.
That is probably one of the most important things you said tonight.
Yes.
Do you know how many times menus are only designed to make money?
See?
It's purely transactional, and nothing to hold against any restaurant.
No.
We all need to make money, but I think you've made an intentional choice of making hospitality the star of the plate, and not even the food or the ingredients or seasonal or any of that stuff. It's really about, it's beyond this plate. It's everything that's happening outside of this plate, right? So that's secret sauce right there. That is a secret sauce.
I think that's why I'm able to go, I have time to go out there because my menu is designed that I don't have to be cooking out there while they're, having their appetizer. I have time to go and check whatever over there because after the appetizer, they're having soup still, so I don't need to cook their entree yet. So I'm up there. So I think it's important. You have to design your menu to work for you and your guest. Whoever work in the kitchen, they shouldn't be working for their menu.
Wow.
I think that's how I design mine.
Yeah.
So.
And do you always come out looking that cute?
All the time. Look at me, right?
I believe you. I believe you come out like that with a big bowl of beef salad in your hand.
Yes.
It's so good. I can't wait to taste that tangy, limey beef.
Yes,
so
it
yum.
is good. It's
Delicious.
Really good.
I feel like a lot of your food is almost like your street food DNA
It
in you know?
It's like some of my food, it has those kind of street food that you see in the city in the Philippines or in Thailand or anywhere.
So
in
great.
Asia.
It's awesome. And there's a couple of your team out there talking to your guests.
Oh my God, these are like, those are when I first opened my restaurant. Because I remember there's an Isa's classmate in Gunnar and then Olivia. Yes, oh my God, what did you get? That's old.
I'm glad you're able to sit back and enjoy your life for a minute.
I know.
Because I know you're making everybody else's day every day with your chocolate cakes coming out of nowhere, but this is beautiful. So here's the thing. We all want to come see you at some point.
Yes.
And you're going to get some random people coming to you. Talking Food in Maine, we saw you. Tell us what we can expect if we did a road trip up to Monson and where we could stay.
It depends on what time of the season you're coming.
So you have, these are your cabins,
we have
right?
Twin cabin by the lake. And yeah, that's a lot of couples sometimes in the summer, they would book both of the cabin.
These are your cabins?
Yes, it's on Airbnb. They book that and stay for the weekend because it looks like it's in the wood, but it's actually in town. But
this is in town.
Yes.
Oh wow!
But I mean,
it looks very bucolic.
But it's like next to the lake. So it looks like you were in the woods.
Okay. Yeah, the North Woods.
Yeah.
So like Monson's like the gateway to Moosehead.
Yes.
So I'm sure a lot of folks come up. Okay, so when I grew up,
yes.
I loved Martin Yan.
Yes.
I loved Graham Kerr. I loved Bert Wolf. I used to just watch all of them growing up, and we'd fight of the remote because these were the only shows we got in India, and so I just obsessed over all of them. But Yan can cook. Oh my gosh. What a fun guy.
The first,
so tell us about that book.
He's the first chef that I watched when I first came to the United States. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
So I bought that book.
Yeah.
The old, yes.
Show us the
This
book.
one, this is my first. Look how young he is in there.
I think he looks the same, like 35 years later. I don't think he's aged.
Yes. And so last summer, I didn't know she was the producer because she came and with her husband. She asked me, like, who is your favorite chef? And I said, I used to watch Yan Can Cook. And then she said, oh, and by the way, I produced all his TV show. And I said, no way.
Is your life full of these moments?
I know. So it's just like, no way. I said, yes.
Wow.
So then she went home to California. And then a month later, my daughter goes, did you buy something from Yan Can Cook? I said, no. And he sent me this. And because the producer went and told him that Lulu loves you. And so this is what. And his wife sent me the note. Yan said, best wishes for continued success and have a delicious career. And then it goes to Lulu, a fabulous cook who has style and good taste, because of course I love him, see? So I mean, I was like, oh my God, she
That's
actually
amazing.
sent me. I was like,
I think that means more to you than that James Beard Award.
yes. I mean, it's just because
he's the best.
he's just like, so I took a picture. I said like, oh my God, can you believe this? But that was like, I don't know, the producer, and then she went home and told them, and then he sent me
nice
like,
gesture.
wow.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's like I said, it's going too fast. I need to slow down a bit.
Well, I think what I love about this is you're out in Monson, and all these amazing things come to you. And this is what manifestation is, right? You manifest all these great things, and then they gravitate toward you. And I feel like these things come and find you because you put out so much goodness in the
But
world.
I think it's, see, I don't never advertise, or now I'm right with you, so everybody knows now.
Yeah.
But I think my guests are like always putting us out there, because I used to tell them like, you guys are,
These are
putting
Lulu
us out
ambassadors.
there. Yes.
They're going all over, telling.
And then
They're evangelizing your work.
That's why I love my guests, because they're the one bringing new guests. They're the one bringing new people in our town or in my restaurant.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, you are lucky. You have
I'm
a rich,
pretty lucky.
rich life. And then this guy came along,
Yes.
and he just turned your life upside down.
I know, it's so funny.
So tell us.
No one knows James Beard.
You have to tell us. Where were you when you found out you got nominated?
I'm having a day off at home. I was just like, I'm grooming my little Pomeranian. I'm combing him, and my daughter, I guess someone sent us the link, one of our regular customers. So my daughter opened it, excuse me, and he said, are you in some kind of award or contest? I said, no. And she goes, well, this guy, James Beard, said you're nominated for outstanding hospitality. So he grabbed the phone, and I look at him, I said, do you know what this is? And he said, no. I mean, because I never talk about, James Beard or Michelin or nothing. I just
You talk about Yan.
Yeah,
He's your
but
guy.
I talk about Yan.
Right.
Because I thought those James Beard is for elite restaurant chef, big city restaurant, like those, they want those accolades because that's what makes them, like the chef, because you have that in your name. So I've never really, I didn't set out to, that's beyond my wildest dream. I didn't work so hard so I can be on that category.
You were
I was
living the
just
dream.
having a good time cooking.
Yeah. You were living the dream. You're cooking for the people you love, and
this
that
is
was
just
it.
like the like, wow, really?
Yeah, surreal.
Surreal.
Yeah. So did you ever finish grooming your dog after that?
No,
or-
I don't think I did.
The phone kept ringing.
I can't remember what happened. It's just like, I mean, I really don't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the four of you. There's Issa's boyfriend, Billy, and you. You're off.
Yes, we're on our way
You
to,
are
I think,
off
Chicago.
to the Lyric Opera House
Yes.
in Chicago for 4 days of fabulous fun
Fabulousness.
and feasting and laurels. And what happens?
They lost our luggage.
They lost all your luggage.
We couldn't go anywhere.
And tell everybody what airline you were on when they lost
Oh my
your luggage.
God, this is ironic because who presented me the award is two ladies that work for American Airlines.
And what plane was that?
American Airlines?
Yes. And where were you heading?
Chicago.
To get what? The American Airlines Outstanding Hospitality
I know,
Award.
that's what I said. Like, when I got the award on backstage, I stopped those two ladies. I said, ladies, hold on a minute. Like, how ironic that you're giving me outstanding hospitality, but your plane lost our luggage for 4 days. And Zig was like, oh. They both like whispering, and then Zig look at me and like, thanks for playing it cool out there. I said, you mean I didn't blurt it out?
Oh, yeah.
I said, no worries. I mean, I wasn't gonna like kind of ruin the moment.
No. You're too good
my
for
moment
that. Yeah.
about the luggage, but I made sure I told them on the way back. I mean, they have to know.
Well, you got your luggage at 7 a.m. on Monday, and you got the award on Tuesday. So you look good. You look good. You made it.
Well, we made it.
But I just thought that was a hilarious story.
That was funny. I was just like, oh my goodness.
You got your pretty dress. You got your luggage.
Yes, I got my pretty dress.
Go. So tell me, when you went to the awards, I mean, listen, I don't know how many people here have ever met anybody who's won a James Beard Award, let alone been to an actual ceremony. So what's it like? Is it just...
It was fun, but it was also kind of, I don't know, kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I never in my wildest dream that I'll be with, Isa was partying with Andrew Zimmern.
Isa?
Yes, my daughter.
Yeah.
And Gail Simmons.
Yeah.
We saw it at the reception.
Yeah.
You know, but it's kind of like, I don't know, surreal, I guess.
Did you feel like a fish out of water there?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I don't feel like I belong there.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like, you know, because I don't still call myself a chef. I know my husband always say, yes, you are a chef. I'm like, no, I'm a cook. I guess, I don't know, I still have a lot to learn. You know, maybe someday. But I like calling myself a cook because I cook like a home cook. You know, I mean.
But you do siphon some strawberry diamonds in there once in a while.
I can make diamonds.
You know, you got to bling it up.
Yeah, I can make diamonds, but maybe someday.
Yeah. But I love that humility about you, and I think it's categorical, you know, chef, cook, however you see it. At the end of the day, you are nourishing and nurturing people the way you choose to do it,
That's
right?
what
And you designed your menu the way you wanted it so that it would serve your goal of being a great host.
I think that's what, for me, maybe that's why I don't call myself a chef, because I'm not only in the kitchen, I'm outside like hosting.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't put myself really, I think to me that's too formal.
Yeah.
To call myself a chef.
Yeah.
So I'm just a host and a good cook.
Look at you guys, look good.
Aw.
Chef or cook or whatever you want to call it, you look good.
I can clean up pretty good, don't I?
You do. You clean up really good.
Right.
And Bill in his tux, this looks great. Beautiful. What a handsome couple you are. I mean, what a wonderful dream for you guys as a couple, right? Bill with all his service, all these years, you know, as a paratrooper?
Yes.
Yeah, serving his nation, and here you are receiving the highest award for outstanding hospitality.
He's the best. They supported me all the way, you know, so I couldn't have done it by myself.
Yeah.
You know, with them, my family, and my crew. I mean, we did it.
You all did it.
Yes, we did it. Aww, thank you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, look at all that.
Wow, so much love.
Yes. I mean, like I said, without them, I couldn't done it without them. I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah.
But I think they know what I want to do in the restaurant, so they're just there behind me, like, okay, whatever you need us to do.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a big support.
Yeah. You got a huge network around you too. Yeah. So this was great. So you came back from Chicago and the town threw you a fun parade.
Yes.
And then you went to the state
senate. I thought my
senate.
house is on fire, but
oh, the fire
they're
fire
right
trucks.
on my driveway.
They showed up in your driveway?
On my driveway waiting, and I asked my son, I said, what's going on? And there's a cop, you know, the
because you thought the place was on fire.
Yes. And then they said,
like,
oh no, we're just escorting you downtown. I said, what? And
I love it.
We went downtown, and then I thought, okay, let's open the restaurant, let's go in. And everybody already inside waiting for us.
Oh my gosh. Wow, so everyone's in there ready for you. Oh,
that was
great.
a nice welcoming.
Well, you certainly put Monson on
gesture.
the map.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, nationwide. It's already on the map, but you know what I mean.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, because of that, Jeff Glore put us on the map.
Yeah. So tell us about Jeff Lore. So he's the host of The Dish.
The Dish on CBS Saturday.
And again,
morning.
a really cool moment. Tell us how
I
Jeff
know.
found you.
His producer was vacationing in Greenville,
Yeah.
trying to make a reservation at the Quarry with his family. And I told him, sorry, we're booked. And he goes like, really? So then he read about me. And the one that Susan wrote.
Main
the
Mag.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, he wanted to put us on the dish.
So you went on The Dish. He came to your restaurant. He got a meal.
Yes.
And he got to talk to you. But that show, he gave you a lot of airtime, and that was really good for you.
Yes, I think
Yeah, it's a great
usually they
interview.
like 5 minutes, but ours is almost 10.
Yeah.
Because of Knight Rider, that's why.
You got it.
Yes, she did. I mean, Jeff Glore really ate it up. The Knight Rider.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to read just one quick thing. I thought, we really wanted to share, and I want you guys to all Google this tonight. Go to eater.com and scroll through three hours of footage and get to the third hour. And there is Marilou, the underdog, running up on stage like she was looking for her Pomeranian or something. I don't know. She was just like, what? And what did you say?
Oh, like when I went on the stage, oh my God. I look around like, oh my God. I was just going like that. The first thing come to my mind is like the hat that my husband gave me. Now he told me, I got Cecil. And just like, I didn't know what to say. I was so like,
Did I not tell you to write your speech?
I know, you keep telling me, I know, she kept messaging me because
I said, write that speech. You are winning this
She
thing.
kept saying, like, you're the underdog, write a speech because I know you're going to win. I was like, no, I'm just going for the food and wine.
Can I tell them? Good for you. You had a good night out. But can I tell them what you wrote?
Yes.
Okay. She said, oh my God, I am so nervous. I just have my restaurant in Monson in the boonies, and somehow Mr. James Beard found me. Now everybody knows my town of 670 residents, but now we have 671.
Yes.
Because I'm taking Mr. Beard home with me.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Love it.
Yes.
Cheers.
I sure did. That was a good one. See, I didn't have to write it.
You didn't have to write. That came from your heart, like
Yes.
everything. Yes. So here's what we're going to do. We have so many lovely folks here who have
Yes.
driven from so far to come see you. We want to open it up so they can ask you some fun questions, maybe
Yes.
things we didn't talk about. So if somebody asks you a question, if you don't mind, I'm just going to repeat it for the camera, and then we're going to let you answer. And then we'll promise we'll do a parade down there of the medal.
Yes, I want to
Okay.
take all picture of all of you.
Selfies, pictures, all of
Selfies,
it.
yes.
Autographs. Okay. So you have a cookbook coming up soon, a food truck, a food all of it's coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
All right, so folks, whoever has questions for our wonderful Lulu here, please feel free. Don't be shy, because we all want to know more about you.
Yes, what you see is what you get.
Oh, we have a question right there.
Well, I have a comment, if it's all right.
Sure.
I've been to Mindanao, it's lovely.
You have?
I have, long time ago, long time
Long.
I would just like to say to you that I wished the event in Chicago had the hospitality to make you feel at home, that you obviously must have in your restaurant. I wish for you that they had done that for you, and maybe they could have learned a bit.
Oh, thanks.
That's
Make you
nice.
feel at home because you obviously belong right there.
Oh, thank you.
Make sure you write them a note and tell them that.
I know.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah. Say, she said.
Yes. Okay.
Does anybody have any other questions for Lulu?
Hi, I'm Angela Fagan. I also have a little business for this area. for the first generation immigration, I really pleasure meet you today. I also run my little business almost 30 years.
Yes.
But I'm not chef also. I'm cooking
Yeah,
my
right.
hobby. I love to cook. I never been to cooking school. I cook it from my mother, so all the memory. And by the way, next month is my birthday. My son already booked my birthday dinner in your restaurant.
Oh, wow, yes. Yes, oh, thank you. I will see you.
You better have that chocolate cake and the strawberry
I
diamonds.
know, I will.
She's coming for it.
Yes.
She's coming for it.
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, Bridget.
Cherie. So I actually taught your kids at Foxtrot a lot.
Ah, Isa and Gunnar.
Yes, I had them both.
Yes, and Doug. Kelly and them.
Just keep them. We moved just before you opened your restaurant. And I'm really curious at how you feel like Monson has changed. This has become more artistic. Like, it sounds like they've really embraced you. How do you feel like you've helped make Monson more of a home? It's so small and it's such a beautiful community. How has it made you feel more at home to like bring more culture and pizzazz and just like joy to like a town that was honestly like kind of dying?
It was. No, I think, no, we're trying to do Monson as like welcoming, not to, it's, I don't want to say it that way, like they're, I don't know, I don't want to get in trouble. I want it just like home, not because we have artists and everything. We don't want it to be like a home that we have artists now, we have gallery, now we have James Beard Award, now we're gonna be stuck up. No, I want Monson like when I moved to Monson because they accepted me of who I am. I mean, I think I'm the first Filipino in Monson, but they accepted me just like I belong there. And that's what we're trying to do in Monson. We're like welcome everybody. That's why I feel like I wanted to feed everybody who goes by this, the road instead of walking, if they say
You're
I'm
part of
hungry.
history. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like hikers. And so I think Monson it's a friendly town. It's a small town, but it is like a sweet little town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think the Libra Foundation put a lot
Yes.
into it, and it just resurrected it. And it's this just new life and it's regeneration of the arts and food and craftsmanship and of course all the nature that surrounds you, the best of all of that. So
We're very lucky that Libra Foundation, pick our town
yeah,
to bring the artists.
the gateway to Moosehead.
Yes.
Awesome. There was somebody back there. I'm so sorry. Just one quick second. Somebody there who wanted a question. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a food truck. I've been in the food industry my entire life. My grandfather owned a restaurant. He's passed away now. The number one question that I get all the time is, what is your food? What do you serve? And I never know because I'm always changing because I do a lot of farm to table. How do you respond to that when you do farm to table? Because I'm like, some days I do sushi, some days I'm doing tacos, some days I'm doing this. And I'm like, and when you say farm to table, they're always like, well, what is that? How do you, because I know that you do a lot of farm to table. How do you respond to that?
You said farm to table. I never say farm to table in my restaurant. I'd say seasonal. Yes, because farm to table, how I grew up, that's farm to table. Yeah. That you really grow your own thing. Because if you think about it, all what we're serving in the restaurant, they're all coming from a farm. Yeah. But yes, but when you say farm to table, there is just like meaning that you are, someone is farming for you right there and stuff. But if you're, like for example, you're serving fish tacos. Do you have like a pond behind your house and stuff? See, that's farm to table for me. So I think for you, you'd rather say seasonal. Yeah. Because I know I'm gonna get in trouble, but that's how I believe is farm to table to be. But I always say, do not underestimate your customers. Don't say farm to table if you're not doing farm to table. That's my take on farm to table.
I'm not raising it, but all of it, I mean, as a seasonal food truck, I'm only open in the summer, and I go down to the dock and get the fish, and I get the lobster, and I get everything right off the dock and bring it up to my food truck and cook it and prepare it.
Like hyper local. Yeah. That's
I
awesome.
guess it depends on how, if that's how you believe farm to table is, you can advertise, say it as farm to table, but like it's, that's what I meant. That's what I'm. No, you just say locally or fresh from local. You tell them you're fishmonger or whatever. I think that's more believable than say farm to table if you're serving lobster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or that's to me, I guess, because growing up in the Philippines in the barrio, we farm to survive. We farm so we have something to cook and stuff. And for you, like you said, to say you're saying farm to table, like I said, don't underestimate your customers. Because like I said, if you say I'm getting all my fresh seafood to the dock, from the dock and stuff, but just say locally sourced and local, fresh from, I just picked it up today, or seasonal. I think that's more, like your customer believe you more that you're doing really fresh stuff, that you go out your way to go pick it up yourself than saying, oh, I do farm to table. More personal. Yes. Yeah. Because you can do anything, I think, you want in your food truck, as long as, like I always tell people, be true to yourself, be true to what you're trying to sell. There's a lot, I think the farm to table or doing this, there's a lot of trend or fad.
It's a very vague concept.
Yes.
It's very open, like a lot of people don't understand it. And so I was using it and I'm like, I don't understand what that means.
That's why like I said, find what you're like, wanna, sell to your customer, you want to share to the customer. Because it's hard sell when you say, I'm doing farm to table. Yeah. It's really hard. I just do seasonal.
Yeah.
Or I just say, I do it myself, I go pick it up and stuff. Just, that's better than, you have that saying farm to table. Like you said, it's kind of hard. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome.
Hi there.
Thank you so much. I have a small question, but I wanted to thank you for saying the menu works for us. We don't work for the menu. I don't think I've heard something that simple and profound in a long time. But then you said that people build menus to make money, and they hire design consultants and platers and so on and so forth. People design menus to get awards. And you can go into a restaurant like that and it can feel so formulaic and there's nothing warm about it at all. So my question to you, and I already think I know the answer, is now that you do have that piece of metal, that hunk of metal, how will your menu change? How will you change? And the biggest thing is I think the customers will have more expectations, and that's sort of weird. That's sort of like pressure.
It is. Funny you said that. That's why I never want to advertise. I never want to put myself out there, but now I can't help it. We're out there because of the expectation. I just wanted to do my thing. I want to have a good time. I don't want to have to worry about okay, there's a group of people coming because they heard us, or I was advertising it, and then that's going to be the expectation. It's going to be so high up there. I think to answer your question about how am I going to change my menu, my menu is still the same. I just changed my my protein sometimes and stuff, but I'm still got a lot of ingredients that I need to use from what I use back home. So, but my menu is still working for me. I'm not working for my menu.
You know what, I love that question, and I wanted to speak to that for a quick second, because we had this discussion about how everyone's coming to you now. Hey, you need a website. By the way, you
Yes.
don't have one.
I
It's
don't
just a
have one.
Facebook page. You need a website. You need a POS system. You need this. You need that. And how does that make you feel? Like you all of a sudden you feel like you need to lean into that, or are you feeling like you're gonna stay strong in who you are? Take your
No.
POS system and have a great day. Like,
No, I'm still doing like writing on paper, and I'm still doing, when people make a reservation, they say, can I give you my credit card? I said, for what? You know, they said, well, you know, restaurant take our credit card, because if we cancel it, they take 20%. I said, nope, I don't do that. I said, you pay me when you come. So I'm still operating in the old gold, you know,
Old is
honest.
gold,
Yes,
yeah.
honest, you know, thing.
traditional, old
Traditional,
fashioned.
yes.
Yeah, old is gold.
Yes,
Yeah.
I said, I still do that, and it's still working, you know. That's what, yeah.
That's awesome. I think there's a question. Hi.
Hi. Have any of your interns gone on to work in other restaurants? Can you tell us?
No, I have one of my extern from EMCC. She said she's not ready to move. She still want to learn from me. So, no, they have. I told them, learn everything or pay attention. Maybe you can learn from me in this. So when you go to your next, you know, whatever journey of your career, then at least, you know, you have a little, you know, something that I taught you. But no, she's still working with me.
Can I tell you a funny story about this? So in doing my research, I read that when you got into Eastern Maine Community College, you never missed a single day. And that Lulu would show up in Bangor on a snow day and have to turn around because the school was closed. And she would still show up in that snow, ready to go, an hour and a half, probably 2 hours at that point driving, and then have to drive home 2 hours because there's no school that day. But she was there.
I didn't get the memo.
And that work ethic, you
Yes.
know, it's amazing.
So,
Yeah. So hopefully that your interns get
Yes.
that out of it more than
Yes.
anything. Yeah, the work
I
ethic.
think so.
Hi.
What are your favorite things to eat around Maine when you're not at the restaurant?
Around Maine. Sometimes I like to go on the coast. I like raw oyster. It has to be plump and like really
Juicy.
nice. Yes.
Yeah, right here. So I'm just putting the word out. Tomorrow morning, she's looking for a place to eat for lunch. And
Any suggestions?
she would love oysters. So if there's any fun oyster places that you guys would recommend, feel free to tell.
Yeah.
I know we're living in oysterland here in
I
Nebraska,
know.
the best in the world.
I love raw oyster.
So you might want to just take a drive and just go oyster
I just go to
hopping.
every restaurant, just go like, okay, let's try that one, let's try that one. We'll go
Hey,
have raw
Lulu's
oyster.
out, so Lulu's
I
got a
know.
party, you know? Oyster party.
Yes, we'll have oyster.
So I just want to say, first of all, I absolutely love your story. I think it's so inspirational. Just come to the U.S. as you did. You have absolutely nothing to lose, and that's really moving to me. My question is, as an artist, and I definitely consider you to be an artist, just in everything you do. What point in your career do you see yourself? I think there's a fine line between just doing what you do because you enjoy it and doing it because it's profitable and sustainable. At what point in your career have you found that you'll just do it because there's enjoyment to it? I mean, how do you deal with? Obviously, you love this. How do you deal with that when people are not receptive of that, not enjoying it? It's not turning out well for you. How as an artist do you deal with that? Is there a point that you ever get to where you just have to ignore whatever everyone else is saying and continue with what you're doing, even if it's not profitable, even if it's not something that is producing in the long run?
So far, I have not have a really like a bad problem and stuff, but I don't think when they come there, they're not just expecting the food. I mean, I like to hang out with my guests. That's why I think they come over there, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna get tired cooking because I don't see it as a job when I go to work. You know, to me, it's another day to, you know, make something in the kitchen, to try new things. So I think you gotta love what you're doing, especially in the food business. As you know, it's like the profit margin is so low, very, very low. So I think you gotta love what you're doing, especially in the food business. And you gotta love what you're doing over there. That way it doesn't feel like it's a job, you know.
But Benjamin, I love your question because I think what you're asking there is in terms of the creative spirit and not losing a sense of that creativity and the love for it because of the business and the demands of the business and sustaining the business and also balancing your passion for everything you do and why you're in it. So I think you know your why.
Thank you.
That's a great question. Yeah. Any other questions?
Your story is inspirational and incredible. My question is, can I get a table for 4 on May 26th?
Got it.
Hi, Lulu. First of all,
Hi, kumusta?
I'm an immigrant from the Philippines, so thanks for reminding me about that spaghetti.
Oh, yes.
And she's right, it's only served during occasion, during birthdays. You gotta have noodles during birthdays.
Yes.
And you don't cut it because it's a long life. So I just want to be say I'm proud, you know, for what you've accomplished. But my question is, was it hard to incorporate this Filipino street food like the sisig that you mentioned?
Yeah.
The sea grapes. I don't know, my wife's the one who cooked. I don't cook, I'm sorry.
You only run marathons, Aki, yes.
Was it hard for you to incorporate the Filipino taste or food dish to, you know, serve with your
No, not really, because a lot of like restaurant now is, especially like Filipino food are becoming like the it thing in restaurant now. So for me, I still serve like you're familiar with, like I said, beef, tuna, and all that stuff. It isn't hard to incorporate our ingredients. It's
just like your spin on your touch on it. The protein is there, but you add your.
Because like when I cook lamb, I put buttered anchovy, compound butter in it, and candied pineapple, and it works. I think it's just the balance. You gotta know how to balance it. So, but it's not hard to incorporate our ingredients to, you know, what people familiar eating here in the United States.
Yeah. Well, I think you're gonna be seeing Aki and Chat up there as well for dinner. That'll be fun.
Sisig. I'm gonna serve sisig when you come.
See?
With this nice over easy eggs.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think she has a question.
So my husband and I own the only commercial game bird farm in Maine. We've been doing it for over 36 years. We're coming up on our anniversary. And we were, you know, starting in the 80s, late 80s, kind of before our time, you know, with the natural raised sort of things and all that. And we kind of branched out into restaurants as one of our kinds of customers. And we used to do smoked game birds, and I did custom gift baskets in Down East Magazine and all this kind of thing. And we're in some cookbooks as sources and worked with chefs for that kind of thing. And it's been a long time, and your business changes a lot over time based on what you need. You know, you make it through a pandemic, and then you go into, you know, some other kind of thing. And so you kind of have to learn to roll with the punches. And I think you are a wonderful example of someone who has taken a lot of small businesses everywhere start with your passion, right?
Yes.
Like that's what started our farm, was my husband's passion about game birds. You know, when he moved to Maine, I always say he's from away and I'm the original. But we got together and we've grown our family on this actual farm, right? And we raise a lot of our own food and things. But you're such a great example of taking your passion, which we've done for years, making it through the good, bad, and the other. But when you take that passion and you make it a business, that's the line where a lot of people cross into the path where they go, oh, I love doing this and now I don't like it anymore. I've lost my passion because I made it a business. And that's why a lot of people don't go into business, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I don't want to not love what I do anymore. So I've enjoyed learning about you, and I'm excited to see you here tonight and just see someone else who has such a passion, and the way that you've managed to take that very humble way that you are and make your home your restaurant,
Yes.
your theme, where a lot of people, like you say, you do sometimes feel uncomfortable, or I have been in that position where I felt uncomfortable with these fancy people. They fly in from New York to
Yeah.
use my product, or whatever, and we're invited to that, 8-course meal or whatever it is. And it's just so wonderful to see you stay true to you. I think you do a great job at that, and you will continue to do that, to bring the passion and share it with so many other people in such a fabulous way, where we all want to meet you. And it isn't just about your food, because you are such a big part of that. So thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you. That's a good question, because
I think we're going to end on that note, because that was
Yes.
such a wonderful sentiment.
yes. Well,
Unless there's
thank
any other
you for
questions.
that.
Yes, you get the last question.
Have you ever tried to chop vegetables with your eyes closed like y'all can cook?
No, because I need my fingers to cook. We'll just invite Yan Can Cook to do it. Do it for us.
I think we all want to see you go cook with Yan Can Cook.
I would love
I
to.
think
Oh
that
my
would
God,
be
wouldn't that
a
nice?
fabulous PBS special. I think we
Wow.
all need to write into PBS
Yeah.
and ask for that.
Maybe I call his
Call that producer. Yeah.
And say, hey, I want to go over there.
Or say, would you like a reservation?
Yes.
And then just make it happen. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would
right.
be. Oh my God, this is so nice.
Well, what a fun night.
Yes.
We got to have you in our house.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It is so lovely.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to set you free, because you've got so many wonderful people who want to meet you,
I want to actually
and you've
take
got
a
a
picture
parade. Yes.
with them. Look.
All right, get that photo.
I have to put my seat on.
I think you need to get that photo. That's a great
Oh
photo.
my goodness.